Hi, welcome back to my channel. If you would have told me at the beginning of the year that the Talk Tuah podcast with Haliey Welch would at one point be the third most popular podcast on Spotify, I would have said, why are they spelling her name wrong? Her team needs to get on that. But that is how Haliey spells her name. I before E and all that, I guess. Really breaking new ground in white people name spelling. You definitely have heard of Haliey Welch, the Hawk Tuah girl, and if you haven't, you're lying for attention. And that's okay, we've all been there. I first heard about the whole Hawk Tuah thing on June 21st when Bryce Harper did it as a celebration for hitting a double.
Thank goodness that guy whiffed on her, else we'd be having like 23 replays by now.
I thought, well, Philly is the city of brotherly love. He just wants to show his boys that he's there for them if they need him. Sports are already so homoerotic. Why not make it a little more explicit? Only through that did I see the original Hawk Tuah spit on that thang, and the rest is history. But it's been a lifetime since mid-June. Hawk Tuah was before season 3 of The Bear, before Jonathan Groff won Tony's big award, before Trump debated Joseph Robinette Biden. Any other meme would be fully dead by now, so I think it's pretty safe to say that Haliey Welch has navigated from 15 minutes of fame to internet micro celebrity. And with 2.5 million followers on Instagram, I think that micro might be going away pretty soon. Obviously, if you have any sort of success on the internet, the next step is to start that podcast. And that's just what Haliey did. It's a fun thing to do. It's relatively easy to set up. And you can say you're having real conversations, even though you have several producers on mic. This is how we got Talk Tuah with Haliey Welch. And if you would have told me at the beginning of the year that at one point it would be the third most popular podcast on Spotify, I would say, dude, you told me that already. Can you keep it down? This Alaskan Airlines flight is loud enough without that door. I've watched every episode of Talk Tuah, and it is fine. It's not terrible. I don't think you should do that unless you really like Haliey Welch. And if that's the case, go for it. All of the memes about her having world leaders and talking in nuance about public transit and machine learning and Trump not doing the podcast because of a failed assassination attempt are funnier than the show itself. The podcast's biggest flaw is that it's kind of boring. And if that's a crime, you're gonna have to lock me and every other influencer up too. I think expecting someone with very little on-camera experience to be entertaining and host a show for an hour is kind of a big ask. Haliey's not a great interviewer, which is fine. That's not what this show needs to be. But because she has to act as the host and the show has zero structure, it is not playing to her strengths. The whole reason she went viral is because she was good at answering questions, not because she was good at asking them. The only segment the show has is at the end of every episode, Haliey's last question to the guest is,
what's one move in bed that makes a man go crazy?
Because that's the question she was asked when she said Hawk Tuah spit on that thang. I think they need some more of that. I think clearly defined segments would be good for her. If they did something like Perfect Person, where the audience could call in or write in and provide questions that they need advice on from Haliey and whoever her guest may be, that would be good for the show. They clearly know that interviews are not her strength because they have her friend who was there for the original Hawk Tuah Spit on That Thang interview sitting off to the side on mic with some questions pre-written out that she can ask to Haliey and her guest, which is a good thing. Again, we need structure here. I actually wish that they would include Chelsea more, because her and Haliey are clearly longtime friends. They have great rapport with each other, and some of the funnier moments come from them just being two people from Tennessee who don't really know what they're talking about.
Do you know that Jimmy Carter is set to appear on the Talk Tuah with Haliey Welch?
Can someone please tell me who Jimmy Carter is?
If you were to take one guess who Jimmy Carter is, just like what he does. 99 years old, big deal.
Is he a porn star?
What?
I don't know. There's a little bit of everything out in the world. I don't know.
99-year-old porn star?
There's a thing for everything, I'm telling you.
Okay, take one more
Who
guess.
the hell is paying to watch a 90?
You'd be surprised.
Okay, you are right, actually.
You'd be
There
really
was
surprised.
no internet.
Wait, do you know who he is?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
He was the president.
Oh. That's why I said
Wait,
that.
that's false. Canada doesn't have presidents.
Can we actually get Jimmy Carter on the podcast, though?
I think that in season 2, they're going to rename the show Talk Tuah with Haliey and Chelsea because it's clear that they need both of them. I don't think the show would be as good if they just had Haliey. Another issue with the show, and this applies to like 80% of podcasts now, too many people on a microphone. There's Haliey, and her guest. Great. There's Chelsea with the questions. Fine. Totally understandable. Reasonable. Make sure you got someone else who can like look things up but like isn't always on camera. Then there's this other guy who's a real whiz.
The best thing about having money as a woman is you get to date broke guys. They're so much better at sex. They're so much nicer.
Yeah.
You get to date like a painter.
Yeah.
How about like you though? I don't want anybody like getting close to me like that either.
Yeah, dude, but then if it's a good person, it's actually a good thing is what I'm learning now.
Yeah.
This man is a genius. How and why is he here? He adds nothing to the show except for his own fun little jokes. And then there's another producer who's off mic that they have to subtitle in because they're not on a microphone. And I just feel like if you need that many people to keep a podcast on track, maybe you don't need a podcast. They record the episodes in batches, or at least that's what it seems like, which means they can't really cover current events on the show. Haliey's talked numerous times about her episode with Jake Paul. There's footage of her talking to this influencer, who I think is this guy from the Hollywood Reporter's new A-list. I feel like trying to definitively rank the most popular up-and-coming internet celebrities is like trying to wrangle hogs in the dark in the Georgia swamp while you're wearing brand new Docs. It's just not going to be productive for you or the audience watching because their feed is all Pesto the Penguin. Why are you wrangling hogs? And you'd think on a show that's only happening because someone had a viral internet moment, you might also want to talk about other viral internet moments, but what do I know? Despite the wishes of everyone in her comment section, the show is doing well and continuing to grow. She had Whitney Cummings on for her first episode. JoJo Siwa was on last week. Thank you for that.
It was definitely something I've never seen before. Like the bulge? Dude, where the fuck did you get
The
that?
stone bulge. The stone bulge is.
I seen it like 2 days ago and I was like,
You're like,
gotta
oh, she's got a
ask.
dick.
No, it
Nah,
was very
she-
iconic though.
She doesn't. We were just given a little spice, a little gender bend, a little. You can be anything you want to be. A little.
You're damn right.
You know, it's just kind of spice it up a little. It's kind of like back in the day when Harry Styles wore a dress.
You know, way back when Harry Styles wore a dress, what was that, the Middle Ages? And I get why the podcast is doing well. Haliey is charming. She's got that comically Southern accent that you'd expect to hear in a cartoon, not in real life. She feels like a regular person who has a podcast and not like an influencer trying to sell you something, because for 99% of her life, she was just that, a regular person, just without the podcast. Her sense of humor is not super edgy in like a Joe Rogan, Shane Gillis type of way, but she is a little transgressive in that she's a sexually honest, open person. I think that speaks mostly to her being a member of Gen Z. She's a pretty white girl who's sex positive in a way that's palatable to most of America. Obviously, there's the Hawk Tuah spit on that thang, which is a joke about a blowjob, but she also talks about growing out her bush.
Honestly, at this point, I like having pubic hair, sweating, wrinkles, because it is just my goal in life to attract straight men, and it really deters all the gay men, and I can't date any more gay men.
Yeah, shit, if you want to come over here and munch on this rug, go for it, boy.
And for some people, that is genuinely transgressive. But the question on everyone's mind, the question that's maybe the title of this video, I don't know, I haven't seen it yet, is why do people dislike Haliey Welch? First reason people dislike her is she's a woman on the internet. Doesn't feel super necessary to give a whole lot of commentary there. If you're a woman who exists online, first mistake. If you show your boobs, you're a whore. If you don't show your boobs, you still know what you're doing, you slut. And platforms like YouTube and Twitter could and should be doing more to combat casual misogyny, but it keeps the engagement up. If you just listen to her podcast and watch her Instagram reels, I think you'll have a very different picture of her than if you follow her on Twitter. The podcast is the podcast. Her Instagram is photo dumps and vlog content. It's very normal influencer core. And if you follow her on Twitter, it's a lot of crypto stuff and talking about how Elon Musk is a cool, great guy and editing her face onto some pop culture thing and smashing Hawk Tuah into the middle of it. Who in her audience is this for? They don't stand a chance against the Tesla Hawktimus. Hawk Tuah is right there. What are we doing? And they've done this same one like 3 times. There's this one with multiple robots. There's this one with just one robot. There's another one. They're so set on Hawktomus by Tess Lua. Hawktomus. It's right there. She's also trying to take credit for the Mets' success in the postseason. Haliey, this season has been so much bigger than just you. You are but one piece of the tapestry of the OMG gay grimace playoff pumpkin Hawktober Mets, all right? Sure, you can have a little slice of the pie, but this season has been about the sheer quantity of fun characters the Mets have been able to pull together. And I hope that they lose the series because they're playing against my Dodgers. Shohei Ohtani better start showing up when there's not runners on base. I think maybe the biggest reason people dislike her is she went viral without even trying. And I mean that completely. She wasn't trying to create a viral clip in that moment, but she also wasn't trying to make a video at all. She didn't shoot or edit or plan or anything of that sort. She had a fun night out with her friend, sucking down blue Slurpees, when she fell into internet stardom the way Olivia Rodrigo fell into that hole in the stage. She did not work hard to get to where she's at. And that's frustrating for people. I would be lying if I said I wasn't a little jealous of her success. I've been doing this for a few years now. I wish it was my full-time job, but it's not. And that's okay because, especially online, meritocracy is a fucking lie. Mr. Beast, Logan Paul, and KSI did not get to be big creators because they worked harder than everyone else. They got lucky. And they exploited people. More specifically, they exploited children who don't know any better.
Christmas round the corner, get your merch, link in bio. Logan Paul, you use your song to plug your merch. Yeah, boy, I'm the Maverick. Hey. Why your feelings hurt? Hey.
It doesn't help that her podcast is produced by Better Media, Jake Paul's podcasting network that I assume mostly serves as a funnel to get people to use the Better app, which is a micro sports book. That's right, it's all about gambling. All of the other podcasts under the Better umbrella are explicitly about sports or gambling on sports or both, but not Haliey's. Don't worry, all of her episodes still feature an ad for the Better spelled like Grinder app.
Who wants $100,000? Listen up. Better Picks is the only pick'em fantasy app where you can play for up to $100,000. That's right, none of the other guys are giving you this chance. Better Picks is the one and only, baby. As always, Talk To is brought to you by Better Picks. Better Picks offers the easiest ways to win 1,000 times your money. Stop what you're doing right now. I'm serious. Whatever app you have open right now, close it. Whatever text you're reading, shut that down. Trust me, I'm doing this for you. Now take your finger and head over to the App Store and download Better. Better Picks is the most easy and fun daily fantasy app. Hey guys, we talk about Better Picks a lot on this show, but it's for a good reason. It's made watching football 1,000 times more fun.
Which makes it hard not to see this as a cynical opportunity to get their gambling app in front of women, because most of the people who gamble on sports are men. Haliey even explicitly says she doesn't really watch sports, but Better makes it easy to win big, so you should do it.
So I'm gonna be real with y'all. I was never the biggest football fan. I honestly don't even get the rules that much. But what I do know is I like having fun and winning money. And Better Picks lets you win up to 1,000 times your money.
Gambling is fun because you always win. Even when you lose money, it just means that you're more likely to win next time because you're due, because you didn't win last time. So it's like a 2 in 3 chance. You don't get the first time. That's basically a 2 in 2 chance. You should just go for it. You should bet it all. Bet big, win big, bet more. I'm sure all of their demographic data is kind of skewed right now because most of the comments are from men saying, I had a bad thing happen, but then talk Tuah. Thanks, Talk Tuah. She did an ad for Lunchly, which is maybe the most disliked influencer product ever released. And some of that is from the product itself, but a lot of it is because Logan Paul and KSI and Mr. Beast talk about it in a way that feels like they're entitled to your money.
I also think people are confused about what the product is. They're like, wait, so it's just Prime and Feastables in a Lunchables? No. No. It's Prime and Feastables in a Lunchly. I mean, that's what it is.
You did this to make money. That's okay. Like that's why people start businesses, is to make money. You can say it's for other stuff, but if you don't want to make money from it, you don't have to. You can just give it away at cost. With Mr. Beast's video where he rents out a movie theater to eat Lunchly, drink Prime and watch the Talk Tuah podcast. The self-awareness that, oh, haha, everyone's clowning on these things, doesn't change the fact that people are making fun of them for it. I hope that she gets big enough where she doesn't need to be part of Better anymore. It just feels like she surrounded herself with all of these people, and even though none of them have been on the show, their presence still looms large over it. It feels like they're all part of the same group. And right now, it's just not a good time to be part of the KSI, Logan Paul, Jake Paul, Mr. Beast crew. The same way that she stumbled into going viral, she stumbled into being associated with this group. It's not her fault, but it is something she's gonna have to deal with. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, and you wouldn't mind leaving a like and subscribing, I'd really appreciate that. One thing I was not expecting at all from this podcast is how much Haliey loves smoking weed.
I was gonna say, do you smoke weed or do you like see a therapist?
Hell yeah.
I smoke
Oh,
both.
that is some green ganja now.
I'm pretty sure we smoked it out of like notebook paper too.
If she keeps moving up and her star keeps growing, a collab with Snoop Dogg feels imminent. Shout out to Jimmy Carter, who lived long enough to see the Talk Tuah podcast, but is not known by anyone on the Talk Tuah podcast. Again, thank you so much for watching. It does mean a lot to me. And hopefully I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye. It's autumn. Yes.